Hey everyone, this is WWGK, and welcome to the first official episode of the podcast. Now, today we're going to do a little freeform on the show. Yeah, we're scripted somewhat, but I don't usually write a very tight script. So, first topic of the day is this. What are the best Gojira films to recommend to a person who's still never seen Godzilla? And following this, what are the worst? Well, that's not really that difficult, and everyone out there has different ideas on what to recommend, so take these merely as my suggestion. Okay, first off, we need to define what the best introduction to Gojira would be. And for this, now, I recommend the original. I know a lot of you don't really agree with me here, and it's 1954 Gojira isn't what a lot of people would suggest, as it was filmed in black and white. It's kind of slow in a lot of parts, and it has more human character development in it than in any of the other early Godzilla films, but it is a good starting point, except with the younger kids, who they might be put off by how old the film is. It's in black and white. It's not CG or anything. Well, for them, for little kids, I recommend showing them to start off 1962's King Kong vs. Godzilla, which was the first G film ever shot in color, and it features more monster battle action. Now, skipping to other good introductory films, I suggest these as possible films to show people. Ghidorah, the three-headed monster. Godzilla vs. Mothra, 1964 version. Destroy All Monsters. Godzilla vs. Hedorah. Godzilla Reborn, or that's also Godzilla 1985. Godzilla vs. Biollante. Godzilla vs. Mothra, The Battle for Earth. Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2. Godzilla vs. Destroya. Godzilla Millennium. Gojira X Mecha Gojira Tokyo SOS, and Gojira Final Wars. And these should serve as a viewing guide to the best that Godzilla movies have to offer. And now for the worst videos. Now, some of these won't be total deal breakers, but there are some, like Son of Godzilla and All Monsters Attack, that feature Minilla, everyone's favorite little mutant potato pug thing. Okay, we're going to start out with the worst here. Godzilla 1998. There's actually no trace of Godzilla in this movie. There's a reason before it was named Zilla, there was a reason that this kaiju was referred to by fans, and still by some fans is referred to as Gino. Gino, meaning Godzilla in name only. Of course, Son of Godzilla and All Monsters Attack. Those really were bad. Now here's one that's not necessarily really that bad. It's just bad from the standpoint of it's too comic booky for some people. I mean, especially for me. For me, this is where Godzilla took this weird, abrupt left turn into comic book superhero land. And that's just not to me what Godzilla is. Is Godzilla versus Gigan. Now, technically, from a technical standpoint, Teruyoshi Nakano did a great job with the special effects in that one. And for those of the keen observers out there, Kenpachira Satsuma, he was the suit actor of Gigan. Pardon me. Now, the next couple of them here are Godzilla vs. Megalon, which, funny story, that was my first Godzilla film. And I saw it at a young enough age that it did not affect me too bad. If I had seen it, if I was a bit older, I would have been like, what is this crap? It's basically Godzilla versus Psychotic Space Chicken and Hippity Hoppity Bug. And and he's fighting with he's fighting those guys with the help of Ultraman knockoff Jet Jaguar. And then there's Terror of Mechagodzilla, which is basically they're taking a good idea. They're taking the good idea and running with it as far as they can get before they fall flat on their face. That one just was not good. Well, there are a few more bad ones, but they're not too bad. And like I said before, all of these are suggestions for videos that you can recommend or, not recommend to anyone who has not seen the Big G in action before. Well, that was kind of short and to the point. Hey, one more thing. If you've got any comments, go ahead and leave them in the comments section below, or you can find me on Twitter. And if you like this podcast and you want to hear more, just give a like and hit subscribe. Oh, and ring that little bell, so that way it'll send you notifications when I drop new episodes. And that way you can keep up with current Godzilla and anime topics. Now, speaking of current topics, Legendary's Monsterverse has been killing it. Killing it. For both Legendary and Warner Brothers, causing the DCEU fans to get really salty. Because suddenly, Godzilla and Friends are more popular than their shitty SuperFriends flicks. In a way, that's good. Because the world needed GBK. We didn't need a bunch of tired old DC superheroes getting horrible films one after another. Warner Brothers has obviously seen the writing on the wall, and it looks like they will be slowing down the DC movies in favor of bigger moneymakers. Yes, the release of Zack Snyder's SuperFriends, and SuperFriends is what I call Justice League. I refuse to take the DC universe seriously. The release of that Zack Snyder movie did make a lot for HBO Max, but hey, that's no reason for WB to want more. Now, remember when I said that DC fans were a tad salty? Get this. Not only did they do that whole hashtag thing of restore the Snyder Cut and then restore the Snyderverse after WB gave them what they wanted, they're still at it. It's like when you go to a convention and you accidentally wander into this area where a fight between comic book nerds happens. You're stuck between these two huge gangs of sweaty fat guys with stringy greasy hair and Cheetos dust all over them, and they all sound like the comic book guy from The Simpsons. You can't please them, because once they get what they originally asked for, they want more and more and more. So if I were WB, I would just get rid of all DCEU properties entirely. Why? Because no amount of money is worth the hassle of dealing with these lonely ass clowns. So, GBK has soared past the $300 million mark recently, proving just how profitable Godzilla still is 66 years on. And that's a real testament to the durability of this film franchise. Toho definitely deserves our respect and our gratitude for creating such an iconic monster as the Big G and other iconic kaiju as well. Legendary has been hitting the ball right out of the park, in my opinion. Well, yeah, there were technical issues in the first two films, but honestly, what Godzilla film since 1954 hasn't had technical issues? But at first I had my doubts about GBK. First off, I need to point out that I've never been a fan of Kong. Come on, he's a big monkey. And how is Kong supposed to be an adequate match for Godzilla? Well, yeah, he might be smarter, but he's also far younger and inexperienced. He's only ever fought kaiju that live on Skull Island. He's never been off of Skull Island. And even though his race and Godzilla's have an ancient rivalry, they killed each other off over millennia to the point where Kong and Godzilla are the only ones left. Now, to those out there who still cling to this insane idea that the Doug lizard in Godzilla vs. Kong was a baby Godzilla or Minilla, that would be the same as saying that Legendary was willing to wade into show us superhero Goji mode and run the train off the rails, suddenly turn the series into a goofy romp. If anything, They may have been teasing a new kaiju entirely, or maybe one that never got that much screen time. Baragon! I mean, look at him. Facial structure is the same. The body shape and posture is overall the same. In no way does Doug look anything like Godzilla or even Minilla. So I don't know where these people are getting their ideas. And maybe they need glasses more than I do. If Legendary put Baby G or Minilla into a MonsterVerse film, the money would stop coming in. Because people like the Big G as a force of nature to be reckoned with. They see him in these films as the way Tomoyuki Tanaka originally envisioned him. Exactly like a hurricane, like a force of nature. Pardon me. As a living god, punishing those who harm the earth. Not as some goofy kid's superhero. As the box office records during the Showa era proved, as soon as Toho made Gojira more kid-friendly, the money just started dwindling at the box office. And when they went back to formula with Godzilla Reborn, the money started coming in more and more and more. So we know from this, fans don't want funny Godzilla. Fans want serious Godzilla. You know, fans want monster battles, yes, but they don't want stupid shit. Okay, that's our Godzilla section for this episode. Now, I want to do this thing as an AMA, and I'm gonna be doing that in the comments section here on YouTube, also on Twitter. If you've got any kind of question that you want to ask me about my experience in Godzilla fandom, feel free to go ahead and ask me, and I'll go through them and try to answer as many as I can on the next episode or on the episode after that. It just depends, but I will get to your question. You know, I will get to your questions. I can't promise you that the next episode will be the one, but yeah, I'll definitely make a note of who asked a question, and you'll get mentioned in the episode as well. So, yeah, go ahead and do that. Now, for the anime news, I just learned that the unthinkable things. Okay, this goes under my list of things that have been bugging me for the last 20 years, and now they're finally being resolved. Macross, one of the best damn anime series out there, bastardized by a company called Harmony Gold for release in the United States. They butchered it, and then combined it with two other unrelated anime series, turning it into this Frankenstein creation called Robotech. Well, for the longest time, Macross has not been, for the last 20 years, actually, no Macross series has been able to be distributed anywhere in the United States because of Harmony Gold. Because Harmony Gold has been sitting on the rights, the distribution rights, to Macross because they think it will threaten Robotech. Well, 3 days ago, roughly 3 days ago, Big West reached a legal deal with Harmony Gold to be able to distribute further Macross series in the United States. So that means we will be seeing more Macross. That's Macross 7, Macross Frontier, Macross Delta, Macross Zero, and any future Macross episodes that come out. Now, I kind of look at this with a little bit of caution because you're dealing with Harmony Gold and they have not had a good track record with anime. They had another company that was kind of a subsidiary of Harmony Gold called Streamline Pictures. A lot of you anime fans will remember the really bad dubs and really bad translations and hack jobs that were done to great films like Akira. Akira, when it made its debut here in the United States, it was translated and then dubbed by Streamline Pictures. They reused a whole bunch of the actors from Robotech to save money because they didn't want to hire better talent. And really bad translations. So they didn't last that long. Streamline did not last that long. I think they only lasted through like the middle 90s, and then they disappeared. Which thank God for that. But yeah, so now Harmony Gold's going to be distributing Macross, different Macross series in the United States now. That kind of worries me because one, I know their track record. I know what they've done. I know how shady Harmony Gold is. They are a very, very, very sketchy company. They have gotten into so much legal trouble, and not just with the Robotech thing. And this kind of goes along with the Robotech thing, but they have sued everyone who tried to get rights to use like artwork or stuff from Macross to use in publications or anything like that, because they wanted Robotech to be their brand, and they protected it like crazy. But the thing is, it wasn't their brand to begin with. And I guess it was just that 80s attitude of sue them all, But yeah, like FASA Game Corporation came out with this great tabletop game. I still play it to this day, called BattleTech. And the original artwork that they used in BattleTech for a few of the mechs were they were licensed from Japan, and they were Macross vehicles. And so Harmony Gold saw that, and they're like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. We're going to sue you. This happened all the way up until the early 90s, until, the most recent, they've even tried suing Harebrained Schemes because of the BattleTech game. And that's where the lawsuits, the judges were like, okay, yeah, we've had it with these ass clowns. And they laughed. They basically started laughing the case right out of court. So, don't feel sorry for Harmony Gold. If anything, if they are the ones distributing it, if Harmony Gold is distributing Macross in America, that's great. That's great. Pirate it. Torrent the hell out of it. Do not give them any of your money. They don't deserve any of your money. Now, if Big West is the group that is going to be distributing it here in America, that's great. You can go ahead and give them your money. Because, they were part of the whole Macross thing. They've always been part of Macross. So, yeah, if it turns out that it's Harmony Gold, just torrent the series in question. I already have all of the Macross series up to current that has been fan subbed. So I don't need to go and buy anything. I've already got the stuff. But I'm just saying, if you see this stuff on the store shelves, take a good close look at it. Because if it says that it's got the big Harmony Gold label on it, put it back on the shelf. Go home and torrent that thing. Because that will keep the money from going straight into Harmony Gold's bank accounts. The one thing that we can do to fight against companies like Harmony Gold that butcher and bastardize anime is to just bankrupt them. there is no way that these people should be even allowed to get near anime of any kind anymore. So that's me stepping off my soapbox for the evening. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. This is Worldwide Goji Kai, and I hope you enjoyed the podcast. I invite you to come back for the next episode. Thanks.